Jared's second HOH is in full effect, and I'm glad he came to a better realization today than he had last night regarding his initial nominees. But before we get into all that, last night started kind of hot with Blue playing the game once again. It took her so long to start playing this game. But there are moments where I like what I see from Blue. Last night, she was mad at Jared, and like everyone in this house, their games kind of just become very emotional. That's kind of what leads a lot of the games in this house is emotions or paranoia. With Blue, last night it was emotions. She was mad at Jared. They're having fights, and they've been having fights all week because Blue wants to officially become Jared's girlfriend, and Jared's been, giving her the runaround. But last night, after Jared won HOH, Blue was upset because he had all these alliances that she didn't know about. All of the 75 alliances coming out after that fight yesterday before the episode on the feeds, which was still great. The highlight of the season. It's all downhill from here, honestly, especially with Izzy out of the house. But Blue was going to Jag, Matt, America, throwing Jared under the bus, and at the same time also getting back in their good graces, which I think is actually very good of Blue. I think that this can work for Blue. She has all the information, just like Corey, giving her side of the information. Of course, she still has the biggest secret of Jared having his mother in the house that she has yet to drop, because I think that would completely sever that relationship with Jared. Even though Blue was talking this big game last night about how she wants to be the one to get Jared out of the house because she's just so upset with him. I think a lot of that was, of course, emotional reactions. This house can be very reactionary, unfortunately, when it comes to the gameplay. I think Blue especially needed to reconnect with Jag. They've been close this entire game. Why would they not keep that relationship going? Of course, Blue was also upset with Jag for being in an alliance without her. But Blue needed to work on that relationship, and she did what she needed to do. I think that was the right call. Now, of course, later that night, she tried to talk to Jared. It didn't go all that well, in my opinion, although it was enough for Jared to kind of get back on her good side to an extent. Also confusing Blue, because Blue realizes Jared told her this bombshell information, so why wouldn't he actually want to work with her? It wouldn't make sense otherwise, despite all the billion of alliances that were made this season. I think they had better talks today, although Jared still plays too many games. Jared is an asshole, which we will continue to get into here today. But I love this from Blue. Of course, on social media, if you're not helping America, then you're playing a bad game, according to social media. The loudest voices on social media. It gets so ridiculous. Everyone's bias is always coming through on there. But I think that this is great from Blue. She can put herself into the middle that is actually finally starting to form in this game, in my opinion. Now that we're getting down in numbers, Blue can play both sides at least for a few weeks. I don't think she could be able to do that for too long, and I don't know how her maneuvering actually will be. We'll have to watch and see. But I do think that being in good graces on both sides for at least a couple of weeks keeps you in the game. For one, nobody's going to target Blue, although, I mean, she can maybe be collateral damage, but she was going to be that anyway if she would just stay with the Suri and Jared side. She could have easily been collateral damage, but now, having good graces again on the Jag Matt, especially Jag and Matt, but also America and Corey a little bit, I think that is great gameplay from Blue. I have to give Blue props on that. It's good to see her awake. She has come off my list of people that I don't want to see win this game. I would be A-okay with a Blue win because she, like Matt, has proven that she can make personal relationships with people, which is good social game, actually. Blue has that in her. She still has some enemies. I don't think she'll ever be, on Mimi and Felicia's best side, but I don't think they're also going for Blue right away or anytime soon. So Blue playing the social dynamics very well over the past 24 hours. Now, when it comes to Jared's HOH in general, though, at first wanting to put up Jag next to Corey was just not working for me. And then, actually, before we get into that, let's talk about Jag for a second. Jag always bringing up these that people are bullying him in this house because they're liars. Give me a break. Like, Jag is Twitter. Jag is Twitter. This is what Twitter acts like. That just shit talking and gaslighting is bullying. I want Jag to go. I'm so sick of watching Jag. I think not only is he terrible at this game, sure, he's a good person, but he's also just like Twitter though. The whole morality, the whole fake morality, as if Jag has not blindsided people in this game. Give me a break. Sure, maybe Jag does not talk shit as hard as a lot of people in this house, but that's not bullying. Just it makes me want these reality shows to not cast Gen Zers for the next few years, because Gen Zers just cannot handle the heat. They don't want to have fights. They don't want to have good TV. And at the end of the day, these are reality shows, aka they're TV shows, and they should be good TV. This whole fake morality and being so soft, it does not make for good TV. So as much as I didn't want Jag nominated, I would have been pleased if he went home this week, because I don't want to watch him anymore. But despite Jared coming to the conclusion that he shouldn't put Jag up and he should put up American Corey as the showman, and because they did a lot to hurt his game, and they blew up his game and they blew up their own game at the same time, which is still why I think that was a dumb decision from Corey in the first place. The whole move in general just made the game harder for Corey, but that is one of the themes this season, everybody making the game harder for themselves. But Jared still seems to want to target Cam, and I just think that is dumb. The right move is blinking so brightly that I don't understand how Cirie is missing it. I think one of the biggest problems with Cirie right now is that she's depressed that Izzy has left, and she's having a hard time wanting to play the game right now, which is fine. I know people want to complain about that too, and then America Today wanted to give up as well. So it's okay when America isn't wanting to play the game, but when Sarita says it, it's a problem, because that's the hypocrisy of the season apparently. But yeah, Cirie is definitely depressed losing Izzy, and I think she has been slow to play these past 24 hours. Jared's missing it as well, despite Cam's pretty good pitch today to Jared that he would not target Jared. He would have Cam's jury vote if Cam is in jury. I think Cam was pitching what he should be pitching, because the move is actually obvious, and that Cam and Jared should be working together. They are Cam is obviously a person in the house that has nobody, and that is always the person that anyone smart in a game should actually want to work with. Maybe not till the end of the game, but for a while, that's the person you want to pick up because nobody's playing with them. It is the obvious move, in my opinion. Now, especially with the fact that Jared had his game blew up yesterday. Jared should see that there is people in this house now. He is a huge target. So why not keep Cameron as a shield? It is the right move. And I think Cirie even talked about it a little today. Is there any use for Cameron? She's thinking about it, but then of course they want to get on Cam's and they want to be reactive, talking about how they're going to get revenge for Izzy. Cam's not going to make jury. It's emotional gameplay again. It's just trying to get revenge. It isn't strategic, and I think this move is so obvious that you shouldn't miss it. But Jared has promised the Jags and the Mats that he won't put up anybody from their 7 Deadly Sins alliance, and the Jags and the Mats are very anti-Jared right now themselves. They, especially after Blue buried Jared last night, I think Blue could work that to get them off of Jared, but with the double coming up, I think Jared is in pretty big danger in that regard, because there is a lot of targets going towards him especially if Cam goes this week. Jared is the next obvious out. That will be terrible for the show, despite what Twitter wants to think, because the show going forward, especially during sports season, it needs a villain. And Jared and Cameron are your villains. Yeah, y'all hate them and y'all don't want them around. But without them, the chaos will be over. And the anger and vitriol on Twitter won't be over. Because what's going to happen is they're going to go out, the villains are going to be gone, and the large section of this toxic fan base that needs some people around to hate on and to feel morally superior to, they're going to find something else to have a problem with. They're going to find somebody else to have a problem with. And it's going to be so obnoxious, because that is exactly what's going to happen. The next person to have a target for America, oh, they're going to be the worst person in the world. They're going to pick apart everything they do and say. Don't want any of that. I can kind of see the writing on the wall that it's a very strong possibility that Cameron goes and then Jared goes next, and then it's just Twitter gets their way what they think they want. But what's going to happen is there is going to be the fake outrage is going to be targeted at somebody else. Jack's going to go around talking about bullying, and it's going to be a mess. It's been nice the last 24 hours on Twitter, because the AmeriCorey stands have been pretty quiet and depressed, and it makes the fan base less toxic. It's crazy how that happens, isn't it? Yeah, I still wish America would go, but then I kind of don't want America to go. I kind of want Corey to go more, because I would think I would laugh at him, and then we can actually see how America wants to work with Cameron, despite all of that alleged feeling uncomfortable with him. I know certain podcasters and everybody on Twitter wants to make all these excuses for America. Like, anybody with the brain, anybody that isn't the usual sheep on social media can see that it's so obvious that everyone has excuses for every single thing America does or says. That they want to move the goalposts when it comes to the terrible things that America has done. How they only, of course, want to see this from the women perspective, because as I've been saying this season, with this fan base, remember, men, bad. But America, saying that Cameron was making her feel uncomfortable is a problem. Because what happened was, the stands on Twitter ran with that like it was wildfire, that Cameron was a creep, Cameron is the worst, making it seem like he's a sexual offender. That's how extreme they were going. But now they want to say, well, America, she has her right to say that about a person, but still like him and still want to flirt with him. She said last night that she still likes flirting with Cameron. She liked flirting with Cameron. She tried to blame it on Sari and Felicia and Jared for making her hate Cameron, and that's why she stopped flirting with Cameron. And she's saying this to Corey with all of his virgin energy, just listening there with his little hard eyes for America, because he wants to rub his little pee-pee on America's body parts, because it's the first woman to ever show interest in him. That virgin energy of Corey's, it's just so disgusting. That's why I would actually rather Corey go than America. But everybody wants to look at it from America's perspective, of course, the women perspective, but not look at it at Cam's, the man who this thing gets spread like wildfire from the crazy ass stands, making it seem like Cameron's this sexual offender. And yeah, Cameron does give off creepy vibes. I've said it myself, that he was creepy with Riley, even though, as many people have pointed out in my comments over the weeks, Riley was never uncomfortable with Cameron. In fact, the only person that Riley actually had awkward energy with was Matt, after Matt told her about the crush he had on her, because Riley wasn't interested. But Riley was all up on Cameron when he was in the house with her, when she was still in the house, I guess. But yes, the problem with America saying that, and people wanting to now make excuses that, while she still has to play with the game with Cameron. We don't know for sure that she wasn't playing the game before that. Of course, you can't give the man the benefit of the doubt. You could always give America the benefit of the doubt, no matter what she does, the problematic things she does, pushing Corey into kissing her and then spreading it that he's a bad kisser. I'm just sick of the hypocrisy. It's way too constant with this toxic fan base. The hypocrisy gets old. America is just not innocent at all in this game. If she would just embrace the fact that she just plays this flirting ass game, it would be a lot more easy to take. And in fact, I actually feel like she kind of tries to do that, but her stands are so insane and so over the top that it makes it hard to stomach. Although I'm at the point that I'm okay if America wins this game. Shocking to me as well, because I hate her stand so much. But it's actually what the fandom deserves, is America winning the game and the toxic stands being the loudest voice in this community and just scaring everyone away from this community. Any Survivor fan that actually tried to watch this season has to be scratching their head at a lot of things going on this season with the fan base. I did like kind of Mimi and Felicia making a final two. I don't know how that really works out for Mimi in the end. She's going to have to hope there's a bitter jury if that was the final two to actually beat Felicia in a final two. If it's not a bitter jury, I think right now, at least as it stands right now, Felicia would win that final two vote. Jared continuing to be an asshole towards Blue, even after getting back in her good graces, not wanting to kiss her, playing these games. It's also toxic. Like, I wish people can just be nuanced with this, that at the end of the day, though, this is still a TV show, and with Izzy going this early, we've missed a lot of potential, like, climaxes to the drama this season of would Izzy tell the secret? What would she do in her end game with the whole Cirie and Jared connection? And we also missed out on Corey's game. I mean, Corey put in a ton of work with Izzy that I think that if Corey got deep in this game with Izzy, Izzy could have chosen Corey over Cirie and Jared at a certain point in this game, especially over Jared. I think that very likely would have happened, and we missed out on the drama of that. But now everybody wants Jared to go in a double, and it's just a missing out on drama. I think Jared needs to go on a real week so we could see him panicking on the block, especially if it's next to his mother. There's a lot of drama there. Everybody wants to miss out on the drama because they can't see the trees for the forest. I want Jared to have a downfall. I do, but I do want him around for a while. The biggest reason is because it drives Twitter crazy, and I love when Twitter is upset and panicking and crying. But Jared is terrible socially, and he deserves a downfall. He deserves to have that in a week where we could see the actual downfall happening. If he just goes in a double like that, there's no drama in it. He's just gone. We don't actually get to see the panicking. We don't actually get to see him possibly being backdoored and panicking, or the initial nominee and panicking. We'll just see it for a little 20-minute episode, or a 20-minute part of the episode. It just doesn't work for me. So yes, I want Cameron to survive this week. And if one of them goes home at the double, at least one of Cameron and Jared are still around. Honestly, to me, the bigger picture is that if they both go home this week, then Twitter's going to be insufferable, and there's going to be even more fake outrage on a new player in the game because they're just going to be so terrible for going after America, even though America makes all the problems herself. She does. America is responsible for America. Anyway, my star of the day actually goes to Blue. It is good gameplay to want to play both sides. You know, when America and Corey try and do it, everybody wants to say it's good gameplay, even though the way they did it was such a messy way that it came out to be terrible, and now they're both on the block. But now Blue actually trying to do it, and a lot of that was emotional, yes. But Blue doing it right now, I think, can be potentially very good gameplay from Blue.